We've got 220,000 people using EOS, and it's over 850 EOS implementers now around the world. If you ever get a chance to go, it's supposed to be absolutely amazing. This is a massive opportunity to actually kind of get across some real life examples, some real practical, pragmatic tools about how you can implement EOS into your business. So this afternoon, I am joined by my work brother and business colleague, Adam Harris. And if you've ever listened into the show before, you'll know that Adam and I have got a great relationship. We call ourselves our work brother and sister, and we both have similar passions and a similar kind of verve for life. So welcome to the show again, Adam. Lovely to have you.
Thank you. It's like coming back home.
Excellent. So we've just been chatting offline about the EOS conference, which is coming up, and we thought it'd be a really good opportunity to actually tell people about what's happening, what they can expect, and perhaps just introduce the whole concept of what an EOS conference is. So why don't you start by telling us, first of all, what is the EOS conference really about?
Oh, okay. The EOS conference is a chance, like any conference, to take stock, take a step back, reflect on where you're at on your own individual journey, whether you're working with an implementer like you or I, or whether you're self-implementing. But actually, it's also a great opportunity to benchmark. So this aspect around benchmarking, I think, is really important, is that, when you're able to sit around a table or in the networking to see and hear and understand how others are using EOS and hear the stories. Like you and I are hearing the stories all the time because we're with multiple clients. And it's very rare and that doesn't happen very often to be in a room with other people that are running on EOS. So I think that's a great opportunity to hear those stories. And then the other thing is that the content from the speakers on the stage, again, just allows you to hear and understand things from a different perspective. We often talk about this aspect that in order to hear something for the first time, you need to hear it 7 times. So I guarantee those that come, it's more than that.
It is. There was 32. There was a new research study done about 12 months ago. It says 32 times now that we've got all this modern technology. We're supposed to make life easier, but actually makes it more disparate, I suppose. So yes, 32 times.
So I need to hear that for another 30 times before that one lands on me. So yeah, and look, there's some pretty high caliber people within the EOS world that are coming to speak. Do you want to share who they are?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty excited, to be honest, because we had a great conference last year. We had about 320 people in the room, and we had some amazing speakers last time around. But this time around, we're looking at probably more like 400 to 600 people in the room, and we have got some of the best speakers. So we've got Mark O'Donnell, who is at Mod, who is actually our visionary for EOS Worldwide. He's being joined by Kelly Knight, who is the EOS integrator for EOS Worldwide. And then we've also got Don Tinney. And Don Tinney is actually the original co-founder of EOS with Gino Wickman. So I think he was also the original integrator, wasn't he? So yeah, we've got some pretty impressive people there. And they're going to be talking, from their own experiences of how they use EOS in running EOS. So it's going to be quite interesting to hear from their perspective how they use that to grow it from, when Don Tinney joined with Gino Wickman, it was just the two of them and they probably had a handful of clients. That was it. And now we've got 220,000 people using EOS and it's over 850 EOS implementers now around the world. So, that's the journey they've gone on, and hearing that directly from the horse's mouth, I think will be fantastic.
Yeah, I think the other thing for me, not originally from Australia, New Zealand, is that there's so much advantage to be hearing from companies and individuals from across the pond, as it were. I've done some work over in North America, and the way that they run their businesses and how they work and operate, that for me, I'm always inspired because of their mindset and how they do things. So to have the level and that caliber of people in the room on the 5th of September, like if you're running on EOS, whether you're working with an implementer or not, I would highly recommend coming along wherever you are in Australia, New Zealand. It will definitely be worth your while coming along.
Yeah. And I understand this year they're actually doing some breakout streams as well. So I haven't yet had the opportunity to go to the conference over in the US, but apparently the conference in the US is massive. As in they have, a couple of thousand people there, and they have the big keynote speeches, and they also have all these different breakout streams. But this year we're also doing breakout streams here. So there's a stream for those who know nothing about it. There's a stream for those who've started self-implementing, and there's a stream for those who are much more advanced as well. So no matter where you are on that EOS journey, there's going to be something for you outside of the keynote speeches in terms of workshops that will actually help you to understand how EOS can help you in your business.
And am I right in saying that you might be running a workshop there as well?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you, Adam. I am. So my workshop stream is called, Are You Self-Implementing or Self-Inflicting EOS? And so I'm going to share some of the tools around how you can make the self-implementation journey a whole lot better, and the common mistakes that people make when they are self-implementing, which I just did a talk about this morning actually with Business Blueprint. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that with the wider audience as well.
Where can people find details of the event?
So I think it's just we run on eos.com.au. So we run on eos.com.au. And obviously, if you want to get tickets, there's still tickets available, but they will sell out, I should imagine, fairly soon. You can use either ADA VIP, which is short for Adam VIP, so ADA VIP or DEB VIP, and you'll actually get 50% off the ticket price by using our VIP codes to do that. So highly encourage it.
Yeah, I think if you are thinking about it, I would move pretty fast, pretty quickly. By all accounts, the word on the street is that this is going to sell it very fast, very quickly. So yeah, if you've got any questions about the event, just contact Debra or I. We're more than happy to kind of get on a call with you to discuss further.
Absolutely. And I know, last year you were the MC of the event, and fabulous feedback. If you haven't seen my brother Adam on stage, you have to go and see him. He is amazing. He had the audience really enthralled, and he wrote a poem at the end of it as well, which was just beautiful. So a lot of fun. But tell us about, from you who's been involved with the EOS for a long time, what did you get out of the conference last year?
I think for me, it's just being in a room with, first and foremost, like-minded individuals, but more importantly, purpose-driven businesses. Whether it be the visionary, the integrator, or some people end up taking their whole teams, there's just so much energy. I often talk about this aspect that, it takes 7 touch points to kind of know somebody, like somebody, and trust somebody. Like if you're running on EOS, you're kind of already at stage 5 or 6 already. So the kind of so the energy and the conversations that are happening kind of side of the main event, that's where I get the most amount of value, because you're just meeting all of these great people. I know one of my clients that was there last year is now got a client off the back of it. I mean, that's not necessarily the purpose of the event, but yeah, just great networking opportunities as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not actually sure where it's being held. That's a bit terrible, isn't it? But if you go to the rerun on eos.com.au, it is in the centre of Melbourne. I'm not quite sure what the hotel was. It's completely slipped my mind, but I'm sure Adam's going to look it up for me and let me know. And look, we're not just here to promote it. We genuinely believe that this is a great opportunity. And as I say, if you ever get a chance to go to the US one, it's supposed to be absolutely amazing. This is a smaller version of it, but it's still a massive opportunity to actually kind of get across some real life examples, some real practical, pragmatic tools about how you can implement EOS into your business. And it's only, I think the full ticket price is $5.99. So if you use the VIP code, you're going to get half of that. So, $300 for a whole day's worth of EOS stuff with some amazing speakers and amazing workshops is definitely worthwhile.
So I just done my research. Being held out Pullman on the Park.
Pullman on the Park, there you go. So you can tell we're both visionaries. We're useless at these details. It's like, yay, conference, exciting, woo, great. Got to be there. Where is it? Don't know. What's the date? 5th of September. I know that much. Friday the 5th of September, Pullman on the Park. And I think it starts at about 9 a.m. and it goes for a full day. So please, if you want to come along, just get yourself a ticket. And we've got a couple of free tickets that we can give away. So if you're sitting here kind of thinking, I'd love to go along to that, you can drop Adam or I an email. Just tell us why you think you deserve a free ticket, and we'll see what we can do to help you out.
Yeah. And the best answer will win a cuddly toy.
An elephant, perhaps.
Yeah.
A big elephant, yeah. Oh, cool. Tell me, Adam, I know that we just had a quick chat before the show, and you're about to kind of shoot off overseas. You said you're working with some clients over in North America. Where are you headed?
So I'm heading off to San Diego. One of my new clients, global distributed team, they were coming together anyway. We're doing vision building day 1 together. So yeah, just going off. I just actually had confirmation today that I'm going to be meeting up with a friend of mine, albeit for like a really short period of time. But yeah, just really excited to do that as well. And you've been pretty full on in the last number of weeks as well.
I have. Well, it's currently annual planning season. If people know the EOS process, the process is that once a year we come together for 2 days and we do a lot of team health exercises. We really build the trust of the team and then we plan for the year ahead. And so, yeah, I've been very fortunate. We try and encourage our clients to go to venues that will actually inspire and motivate and just get you out of your normal everyday environment. And so I went to a place called Q Station in Manly, which is something that so it's in Sydney. I'd never heard of it before. I had no idea what to expect. And it is the old quarantine station. So it is where when you used to come off the boats to migrate into Australia, you had to go into quarantine and they'd hose you down, they'd put your clothes through an autoclave, all that kind of stuff. So you could come out the other end. And then if you were sick, you went to the hospital. And so it's now been converted into a kind of hotel resort place. So we spent a couple of days there and we actually did the ghost tour in the evening too, which was really interesting to go around in the middle of the night in the complete blackness, learning about the history of the quarantine station. So yeah, that's been one of the places I've been to. I've got a couple more coming up. I'm going to the Mornington Peninsula to do some wine tasting as well as annual planning and some sip and paint. Yep. So yeah, it's a busy time of year, but I love it. I mean, to me, it's been a fun, we're in the middle of a recession, right? So for a lot of people, they're feeling a little bit down, but all of my teams have had the best quarter in the last quarter. And when we're doing our annual planning, this particular team at Q Station, they had smashed their target, like seriously smashed it. They were up 30% of what they had predicted in terms of revenue. So it's like, wow, that is great. So it's a great time for me as an implementer to be able to, celebrate that success and be part of the celebrations of those things.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point because celebration is not something that happens as often as it should do.
Especially not in Australia and New Zealand. I really do. I have to remind people that the point of EOS is not just about keeping everybody accountable, but it's about being able to say, look how well we did, let's celebrate that. And when I get people to set rocks or set annual goals, I always say to them, there's got to be smart, right? Whatever smart goal, because I want to know when I can pop open the bottle of theirs. And so it has to be a distinct goal or a distinct rock that says we have achieved it, therefore we can pop open the verve and have a bit of a celebration. And yeah, it's a good reminder that it's about bringing disciplines of business to achieve your goals, but we really need to celebrate those successes, even the small wins.
Yeah, and one of the I mean, I've been doing this a while. One of the early teams is that they decided to change their 10-year target into what they call Project New York. So they set their 10-year target and they said, when we hit it, going for the assumed close, knowing that was going to happen, we'll take everybody within the organization and their partners to New York for a 4-day trip. So just instilled power and passion and energy, and they hit it within 6.5 years.
Yay, yeah. It's powerful, isn't it? I love the 10-year target. I think Gino always says, in his EOS life, but we always underestimate what we can achieve in 10 years and overestimate in the short term. So, well, that's fantastic. It's like gamifying rocks. You gamify your 10-year target. Let's make it something that's really worthwhile going after, and then we'll get there.
Yeah. And the celebration was just phenomenal. And what they ended up deciding to do as well is that they brought, during that period, people had left the organization, but they reached out to every single person along the journey and said, hey, you were part of it. You and your partner can still come if you want to.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was just amazing. I mean, unfortunately I wasn't able to kind of go, but the stories, I still speak to people and, on LinkedIn and Facebook and everything like that. That trip was so epic for everybody involved that it will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, no, that is great. Yeah. And that's the power of EOS, right? I mean, again, we're going to go back to kind of pushing, but this is what EOS can do for your business, can do for your teams, can do for your life in terms of just really getting you focused on the things that are important so you can then achieve them and celebrate them.
I just want to pick up, you've got a poster behind you that says execution. Can you read the word? Can you read what it actually says?
It says execution is a noun. Stop talking, put your plan into effect and make things happen. And it's part of the reason why I kind of fell in love with EOS, the traction component. I've spent a lot of time doing coaching and mentoring with some pretty well-known organizations and pretty well-known methodologies. It was always about the vision, but there wasn't the discipline in place to actually achieve that vision. And when I came across EOS, I loved the fact that the focus was on the traction. How do we actually, even IDSing, the solve is execution. What is the next step forward that we're actually going to do? So when I saw this at the market, so I was like, yep, got to have one of those. And that is what it is all about.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a 90-minute meeting this morning, and that question around execution really came, like, oh yeah, we're really good at setting and doing the 2-day, or in their case, they've been doing 3-day strategic away days. But, when we look at what we're actually achieving, we're not hitting the marker that we want to hit. And it is because they're not focusing in on the execution, exactly like you've said.
Yep. That's what EOS is all about. And what's on the other side? The other side is coffee. It says coffee. Also a noun, a cup of magic potion that turns evil witches into problem-solving goddesses. For me, after my coffee.
I've seen you in the morning without coffee.
Yeah. And
it's perfectly. Well, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know what it's like to have that hit. Maybe I need to find another way of I just can't stand the taste of coffee. But fine, you are better once you've had your first coffee of the day, though.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I fell in love with that one. Anyway, we could probably sit here and chat all day, but I'm sure the guys don't want to hear us going on. Quick recap. EOS Conference, Friday the 5th of September. We run on eos.com.au. It's in Pullman on the Park in Melbourne. Adam will be there. I will be there, as will all the other EOS people. And of course, you're going to be in a room full of people who are running on EOS. And as you said, that's the power of that day. Yep, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Bye for now.